These are the biggest social media mistakes that businesses are making right now. The first thing is choosing the wrong forms of content. So many brands are focused on, for example, posting images on Instagram, but the discoverability and the potential of short form videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts is extremely high compared to that of just images. The majority of content consumed today is through video, and it's a lot easier to tell your brand story, get information across, and just have useful content through video as compared to something like images. So choosing the wrong forms of content, especially on the wrong platforms, can be detrimental to some businesses. And that leads me into the next thing, which is being on the wrong platforms. There's so many different social platforms. You have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, the list goes on. For example, if I was offering professional services to another business, let's say I'm business to business, I would want to be on something like LinkedIn, and I would focus my content more around something like LinkedIn compared to TikTok, where the audience is a lot younger and a lot less professional. But if I had a business selling something like slime, then I would probably want to focus my time more on TikTok compared to something like a LinkedIn. Now, most businesses will want to be on the majority of platforms, but not all your focus should be on all of them. You need to find a select few and make your content strategy really focused around those. Another big mistake that businesses are making comes down to their brand voice and how they're kind of projecting their business. In today's day and age, a lot of brands try and be too professional. And again, it will depend on your niche, but being too professional, it kind of comes across as lacking personality, and it doesn't feel real. People want that transparency, they want that relatability, and it's hard to get behind something that is boring and plain. People want a brand to have some sort of personality. It's more fun to interact with, and it makes the products more interesting. So if you're just boring and bland, or if you're being inconsistent with your brand voice, if you're different on different platforms, or it's just inconsistent, it's hard to build trust that way. So having a brand voice and an actual personality that you stick to for your brand is extremely important.
Tired of feeling overwhelmed with marketing your small business? Let our experienced marketing team help your business grow. With personalized strategies tailored to meet your needs, we'll help you stand out in a crowded market. Contact us today for more information at foxsocialmedia.com.
And the next thing, which is probably the most important when it comes to having content perform well, is most brands lack the storytelling and relatability factors of their content. Now, these are the two biggest factors when it comes to content doing well. Storytelling gets people hooked in, it builds emotion, it builds a connection with the brand, and relatability kind of does the same thing. If people can relate to something, they generally like it more, they're more interested in, they're going to have a more emotional response, they're more likely to engage, and you do build your trust and kind of relationship with your audience through relatability and storytelling as well. And that kind of leads into the next one, which is brands only posting, hey, here's our product, here's a promotion. There's so much content you can post. Not every single thing has to show your exact product or what you're selling. You can post content that's relevant and helpful, but doesn't try and sell the product. For example, if I'm creating, let's say I'm a graphic designer and I create book covers for people, I can post stuff around what my target audience would be interested in. So my target audience is most likely going to be writers who are looking to have a cover done. Well, I could write different writing tips for them and post content around that. It's not directly about book covers or selling my book, but I know it's information they're interested in. And if people are interested in that, they're most likely going to be, or in the future going to be, interested in book covers or buying one. So just posting your product or promotions is one of the biggest mistakes. The next one is not utilizing your analytics and your data on social media. Your analytics can tell you so much, from what time your audience is online, what kind of content they're consuming, what content of yours does well, what doesn't, what are people having a more emotional response to, whether it's comments or likes, who are they sharing it with. It can tell you when people are clicking off a video, or maybe people aren't clicking on a video because the thumbnail. There's so much information here, and you can gain so many valuable insights through comments and through these analytics on what type of content does well and maybe how you should structure your content in the future, whether it's a certain style, a certain topic, the length of a video, etc. So neglecting your analytics is another big mistake. Next is one that always surprises me the most, is not engaging with your community. If you're a business on social media, you should be replying to every single comment. If someone tags you or mentions your business, you should throw a comment on there and try and spark a conversation. Obviously, comments and engagement on posts will make it do better. Now, that is one of the factors, but you want to engage with your audience and build that relationship. You're trying to build a loyal community. You're not just trying to say, here, buy my product once and then buy. You want a customer who's coming back. You want to build that community because that leads to people buying more of your product, telling friends, leaving good reviews, etc. So if you're not replying to everything on social platforms, then you're missing out on a big opportunity. And the last biggest mistake is being inconsistent. A lot of brands will try and find the perfect strategy and have everything set perfect and make it super professional to start, when in reality, that is just not necessary. Being consistent with decent content is a lot better than having insane content very infrequently. Don't be afraid to start, put stuff out there. You can be more transparent, you can be real. That's what people want to see nowadays from the majority of brands. It helps build that trust, build that relationship, and people can relate to that brand. So those are the biggest social media mistakes businesses are making today.